Greetings and welcome, my beautiful radiant friend. This is Aaron Michael Pine with Ceremony, Meditation, and Magic. On this wonderful episode, I'm so excited to dive into the subject. We're going to be talking about the magic, the mystery, the beauty, the power of the earth itself. What it means to me, what it means to you, how it can transform you, and how to reconnect with that power there. Whew, Earth. I don't know how you feel, but I love Earth. I'm excited to be here. Excited to be able to play here on Earth. So let's get into the ceremony of it, the magic of it, and a meditation of it as well. So Earth is obviously the planet we live on, but there's so much more to it. The planet is alive. There's a consciousness there, and pretty much every culture around the world has some form or mythos or understanding or interpretation of this energy, of this consciousness, of the land itself. And some of these unfortunately got kind of suppressed over time, over the last couple thousand years, with the, I'll say, the expanse of Christianity suppressing some of the earth traditions, many of the earth traditions around the world. Now, without getting into that whole thing, people, like I said, cultures around the world very intimately were connected with the earth, of course, for our own survival, and also the spiritual elements, the spiritual essence of the earth itself. There's pretty much gods and goddesses or mythic beings of all sorts that are associated with the earth itself. Now, of course, you have spirit in the divine realms, and that is just as important, if not more important, in ways, and there's no real comparison, really, just different elements, different aspects of the whole tapestry. And of course, this episode we're going to be focusing on the earth. So the earth, I find myself using the name Gaia a lot. There's definitely a feminine component to the earth. There's also a masculine component, and you find this in a lot of the different gods and goddesses. There's usually more the masculine side of nature, and there's also the feminine side of nature, and both of those are important and relevant to the creation of life itself. Now, Earth, right, we now know it as this sphere here, and the sphere of life, and there's so many different environments, landscapes, elements of Earth that we all get to play and explore in. You know, some of us maybe are more in an isolated area, and that's all we live in, and some of us get to more freedom and roam about and explore the different areas. And to me, Earth is a Garden of Eden, or a playground for our soul, our spirit, to come into these bodies, to have these amazing bodies that are constructed of elements of the earth, provided by the sustenance of the earth itself, and were given to us. And let me just start that there. Okay, so we got the show going. The earth itself gave us life force. It gave us these bodies. It gave us the form, the structure, the molecules, all the elements to have these bodies, and to come here and to play and bring our gifts to this world. That's how I see it. Is our spirits have sort of been drawn down from the higher realms, from the spiritual realms, from the more abstract ethereal realms, and come down right into our mother's womb, and our mother provided the genetic codes and the sustenance and the nurturance to allow our body, and the father, right, provided some of those genetic codes, and hopefully in some way helps provide the nurturance, and the parental couple in whatever form provided the energy, the sustenance for the physical body to develop. And all that nurturance and sustenance, right, comes from the earth. All the food comes from the earth. All the oxygen comes from the earth. All the water. All those things, all those elements, right, were taken and formulated these beautiful bodies, allowing the spirit to materialize, to take form, to express our spiritual nature into the physical body. And of course, our body picked up the genetic codes from our parents, the energetic genetics of our family lines, and their experiences on the earth, their patterns, their programs, their thoughts, their beliefs, all that stuff is interwoven into this physical body, which has many benefits. Of course, that we've also inherited maybe some of the trauma, some of the false programs, false limitations from our ancestry, from our parents, and further back. It's all encoded in us. and that is compiled into our current body. Now, this body needs that for survival, for understanding. It's sort of like, right, here's the library of information that's happened before. Here's sort of the guidebook in a way. Here's what we've got. Here you go. Do what you're gonna do with it, with your soul. So your soul's got this body that's basically a temple. It's a temple. It's a space for the spirit to indwell into this physical reality and navigate this physical earth plane, this physical earth world, and navigate through the idea, the concept of time, to perceive reality, to perceive the energies here in a unique sensory experience. It's like in a way, a video game suit, a 3D reality suit that our spirit's in. Like, okay, we're down here now. This is the environment, and we got our guidebook from our family, and like, okay, this is how these things work. This is what I eat. This is what I do. And so there's truths to some of the things we've learned, and we also have to perhaps unravel some things that maybe aren't true or aren't true anymore for us, or maybe our soul has a different way of doing things. So that's each of our own unique evolution and fun process of changing ourselves and healing things perhaps from our past and our family's past, and letting that go. But all that said, it's our way of moving through and experiencing the earth. And like I said, to me, it's a playground, and while it can have its challenges, it's bullies. Sometimes we fall off the swing, sometimes we scrape our knees, but at the same time, we also get to play and enjoy. And I invite you, the more you can focus on that, like, all right, I am here to play, and yep, I might scrape my knees. A bully might come by and do something. Maybe I go talk to that kid over there. Maybe I go jump on that and play with that slide over there. But to explore and play with life in that way and keep that innocence there, that purity, and that we are children in a way of Earth and getting to play here. And I feel like Earth has welcomed us, has invited us here. I feel like at a soul level, at a spiritual level, there's sort of an agreement between our soul and Earth. Earth is like, yes, come enjoy my playground. I feel like she's sort of at a planetary level set this up and to share with souls of the universe. Hey, come check out what I've created. And to me, different planets, suns, right? Everything has a consciousness. Everything has spirit. So just like there's each of us as humans have our own spirit, I feel like each planet has its own essence, its own consciousness, its own intelligence. And so I feel like Mother Earth, all the planets are beautiful in their own ways. It has this beautiful, unique vibe that our soul is like, hey, let me go check that out and see what's going on. That looks like a cool playground. Again, just like a kid, wants to go you take them to different playgrounds, and this one has these things, and this playground has those things, and there's indoor ones and outdoor ones. And if you're a parent out there, you know what I'm talking about. I've got a daughter, so I've been to many different playgrounds over the years. So I feel like it's a playground, right? Our souls come here. Mother Earth invited us and says, yes, you can come play here. I'm going to provide a body for you, provide a bodysuit that allows you to come in and really experience the 3D physical reality matrix that's been generated here, and you get to come and play. Now, of course, there's all the challenging stuff, all the, I'm going to say dark stuff, all the stuff that's been sort of distorted and things like that humanity is sort of corrupted in different ways, that our soul gets to come in, and we're sort of navigating and unwinding that. And I think that's a big part of our evolution right now and our growth, and what a lot of us, beings on the spiritual path are doing is we're sort of unraveling those distortions and disruptions and if you call it darkness or manipulation, we're pulling that apart and reintegrating all that and restoring the system and bringing more light to it. Now, of course, you've got this whole thing going on right now with climate change, and whether, I know there's a lot of different theories around that. Of course, just the more obvious that we've cut down mass amounts of forest. We've done all sorts of manipulations to the natural environment, the natural rhythm of things. Of course, we've got all kinds of pollution. So there's definitely effects from that. The Earth is going through her own cycles. There's potentials of the sun going through different cycles. So there's a lot of things going on. And then also feel like our consciousness and planet is all that's evolving. So that's causing effects. So there's a lot of ingredients here that are shifting Earth's cycles, rhythms. I pretty much, it seems like everywhere over the world there's all sorts of heightened, right, natural disasters, weather patterns changing, temperatures, all kinds of stuff going on pretty much everywhere around the world as far as I know. So Mother Earth, something's happening to her. She's shifting, things are changing in some way, and I feel like it's obviously a call for us to reconnect and rebalance things in the earth, and not just on the physical. The physical is very important, very important. We need to continue finding solutions to clean up, rebalance, reduce our imprint, reduce our destructive nature, and rebalance the environments around us as much as possible. That's not my main, I'll say, area of expertise. I know, certain things of that we all do, and to continue building that. But on the show right now, we're going more into the spiritual depths here, the spiritual component, which also informs the physical. It's all connected. There's no isolation here. These are very important, both sides of the elements here. But I can speak more to the spiritual ones. And so I want to share what I've got with you guys on that. So as I was saying in the beginning, cultures around the world have, since time immemorial, we're deeply interconnected with nature, with the rhythms of nature, with the eclipses and the moon, with the seasons, with the plants around them, the animals, the landscape. All of it was very part of them, and they realized that it's all reflective of their own inner landscape. The outer landscape is connected with our inner landscape. And as we honor the outer landscape, as we connect with the outer landscape, we honor and connect with our own landscape. And I think that's a big part of why there's a lot of this environmental challenges right now, is because we've disconnected from our own inner landscape, and we've disconnected from the outer landscape. And so that's created all this distortion and destruction. It's like we're not paying attention really to what's really in front of us, what's really available. We're like, well, these are just trees. We just need them for wood. Let's just cut them all down, and I don't know, all sorts of destructive patterns. And so by returning to this understanding that nature is so important, obviously for our survival and also for our spirituality and the evolution of our own consciousness, we can reconnect with it and reestablish rhythms of ourself. We begin to open up more life force within us, more energy within us. We restore the vitality of ourselves, and as we do that, I feel like that's also going to support the restoration of the earth. As we reconnect with the energy of the earth, we connect with the consciousness of our body, we connect with the integration between our body and the intelligence of the earth. We reconnect with the web of life itself, and that's where I feel like humanity's, in different amounts, right, different cultures, different parts of the world, have disconnected from the web of life. We've kind of tried to extract ourselves and close ourselves off in different ways, and some of that's been forced upon us, and the way our society's now developed, we've been extracted out of the nature, out of the natural rhythms of life, and so we're more isolated from it, and so we're disconnected from it, and that makes it easier for us to destroy it. And so what I'm inviting here is more of a reintegration, and not to say modern world and modern technology, modern comforts and different things are good. There's definitely value there and gifts there. I just feel like it's where our evolution, or where we're going, and what we're actually being called to, is how do we integrate technology, our modern world, with nature. So it's like a new format, right? There was the old ways that were very, I don't call it primitive, but right, there's a simplicity there of just how we lived and the technology we had available, and so we were, to some degree, away from nature and farming and things like that. And we've come so far, and now I think it's a reweaving it all back together in a new way, using technology, using our consciousness, using our advanced thinking and models and abilities reintegrated with nature, and then creating a more, I'll say, a higher level of cohesion, a higher evolutionary possibility of what we can do. So we're potentially even more synergized, even a deeper connection with nature than we've ever experienced as a human race. To have this mastery over technology, over science, under understanding of how things work, and this deep soul awareness and appreciation of nature, and allow those things to integrate together. So that's sort of my big vision that I see ultimately happening, and I'm hoping and praying for. So on an individual level, I feel like it's important for everyone to begin to find ways to reconnect with nature and honoring nature. And so let's cover the three things here: the ceremony, the meditation, and the magic, themes of the show here, of course. For me, whenever I'm doing any sort of ceremony or magic, it's very important to connect with the earth, because the earth is the container that we're in. We are in the game, so ceremony and magic are working to direct the energies, to honor the energies, and open up the energies that are within us and around us and around and through the earth. The earth is, as I said, a playing field. It's the game. It's the playground we're in. So ceremony magic is like re-tapping into that and using those energies. If you saw the last episode where we did some magic, I brought in some crystals and some different herbs and salt and some flowers and things like that, right? All elements of nature that I was using to connect with those powers that are there, connecting with the energies that are available, connecting with the components that are available. So it's very important, and this is what pretty much all magic comes from, is the use of natural elements and elements from nature itself. And so as we connect with that, we're using the natural forces of life. Now you can get into more things where you're using the rhythms, right? The seasons, and each season has its own energies. Equinoxes and solstices, those each have their own energies to use for magic. And you're tying in with sort of the rhythms around you. Nature also provides us the instruments to create our life. Nature provides the elements or the building blocks that we can use to create our life and formulate who we are and what we're here for. It's the raw materials. Again, our spirit's landed here, and we're drawing up the raw materials of life to build something, to build who we are, and to build the world. And that's the foundation of it. Foundation of ceremony and magic is honoring that and drawing that in. And so, again, every culture has these different ceremonial points, right, where they're honoring the earth, honoring the planet, honoring the landscape, honoring the plants, nature, and all that it provides to us. Again, it's that abundance and that prosperity, that life force that is provided to us as children playing in the earthen plane. Now, meditation, there's a lot of meditations I love to do where you connect down with the energy of the earth. And this is very important in meditation and other practices, qigong, yoga, all that different movement and energy practices, is to harness the energies of the earth into your body, because your body needs it. Your body is made up of earth elements, earth minerals, and needs that conduit of energy, electromagnetic energy from the earth to flow through it. Now, if somebody is very isolated away from that, right, in the city, you're in concrete, you're in buildings all day, in square formats, you become more disconnected and ungrounded from nature. And that's why I feel like it's becoming more and more popular for people who are wanting to go out in nature and go hiking and go explore and go camping. All that seems to be on the rise as people like, I want to get that back in my life, and trying to find the balance of being in the city and needing to be in the city for work or whatever, community, things like that, and also wanting to get out in nature and feel that natural energy. And it's so important. The more we can get out in nature and be around trees and mountains and lakes and rivers and jungles, and even having our feet on the ground and reconnecting, allowing our bodies to plug back in, to reestablish, to reroot like a plant. I know we don't have physical roots, but we do need to root and ground and connect energetically with the earth, with the natural rhythms. It's so important for us. There's a whole study and practice around the idea of just grounding and just having your bare skin, feet or more, whole body ideally, on the bare earth. Bare skin, bare earth is amazing. There's so much energy and movement of stuff out of your system, stress, toxins, things out of your system that can happen as we can reground and be in nature. So definitely encourage you, if you've already been feeling that, to continue to find ways to give yourself more time out in nature, because it can transform your health, your vitality, and your awareness, and also help with your spiritual growth. If you're feeling, stressed out, depressed, anxious, anxiety, heaviness in any way, get outside, get in nature, get some sun as well. Sun time and nature time. We've been isolated from that, which has compressed us and disconnected us. The more you can rebuild that and reintegrate that into your life, the better you're going to be. So I highly encourage getting out there, honoring and loving your time in earth. Now, the meditation component, again, you can do meditation outside in nature. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend that. This is going to allow you to feel the earth, to allow the earth energy to move through you, and then also imagining yourself rooting down, like I said, like a tree, expanding roots through your legs, from your spine. You can imagine, right? Your spine comes down from your head, your nervous system. Your nervous system comes from your head, goes down through your spine, right? And has all these pathways, and they look like little roots. So imagine that nervous system continuing out of your body energetically down into the earth, down in the soil, deep, 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 rooting you. That's going to ground the nervous system, ground your life force, ground your spiritual energy, and allow it to move through you easier so that your system calms. You move down, and I'm even doing it right now. Speaking, my energy calms down. I'm moving down more into my body. Hopefully you're feeling that. Breathe. Imagine you're rooting, you're connecting. Even if you're inside, you can still do this. Outside's better, but if you're inside right now watching this, your roots going down through whatever you're sitting in, chair, couch, and let that go down deep into the earth. That brings your energy down. Hopefully you can feel that. I can feel that right away. This starts to reestablish your connection with the earth. You're plugging back in, just like I always like to explain. It's just like electrical devices, right? There's that third prong that needs to ground the energy. This is where grounding the energy in your system. This is going to support so much more. It's going to open up and accelerate your evolution, your spiritual awareness, your ability to integrate and manifest who you are, and your ability to stay present and connected with life itself, to be accessing your energy, accessing your own flow of energy and life force. If we're in the city, we're ungrounded, there's a lot of different things going on, other people, stresses, things like that, we tend to unground. And our energy comes up and we're sort of out of it, and we're not connected and we're not fully present. So this helps all that shift, and so you stay aligned with who you are. Now, as we ground, we can also start to breathe up, draw up the energy of the earth into our body. Just like you're breathing in air, you can breathe up, you can draw up like a sponge the energy of the earth, and ask the earth to come in and support you and bring this earth energy. And you can either use your hands, you can imagine like you're just pulling this energy up and placing it anywhere in your body you need it, just like mud, like you're drawing up this mud and you're applying it on your body anywhere you need some support. If you got any ailments in your body, you're drawing this energy up and pulling it up into the body, breathing up into the body. And then it can also breathe out of you and move down and take away any toxins, any stress in your body. The stuff from the day, especially if you go out in like an office or wherever and you've got stuff and you're done, just down into the earth. Breathe it out, feel it flow out of you, out of your roots, or you can physically kind of feel good to just pull it out of you and shake it out. Shaking's amazing. So shake it out into the earth. Let that energy flow out of you. Move that out of you back into the earth. The earth can recycle that and cleanse that and purify that. So that's some powerful ways to start moving the energy of the earth and re-accessing that. Now, when you do that with ceremony, with magic, and you access that energy of earth, just in that meditation, bringing the elements of earth, and you'll see that in the other episodes where I bring in crystals and flowers and different things. Like I said, you're making the most of the earth. You're using what's here, the power that's here, the magic that's here. Earth and life are magic. Magic is earth. Magic is life. Magic is the verdant, vital forces of life itself and the earth and what's provided from the earth. So when we're doing magic, when we're doing ceremony, when we're doing this spiritual connection, We're connecting with our essence and its interface, its interconnected nature with the planet itself. And that's what I want to get across to you, really, at the core of all this, is reestablishing our connection energetically, spiritually, our love, our heart's ability to love of the earth and the earth to love of us. We are so loved by the earth. The earth provides so much for us. It provides this whole opportunity to be alive, to be in these bodies. And I know some of you out there maybe have had challenges in life, and there's people that where you go through those phases where you're like, I don't want to, life doesn't seem that great. And I want to transfer that. It's not that life's not great, it's just the way things have gotten distorted and disconnected that can create those feelings. And what I'm inviting here is to unravel those distortions and disconnections, and as I said before, reintegrate us back into the web of life, to reintegrate us into the flow of reality, the flow of life, the juiciness, the amazingness, the deliciousness, the vibrancy of life. If you haven't been able to, say, go on a beautiful hike somewhere, to bathe in a beautiful lake, to go under a waterfall, to taste the some delicious juicy fruit fresh off of a tree, to walk barefoot in the woods, to lay out on a beautiful beach and really savor it. And I've seen people do those things and not fully savor it, not really fully be there with it. There's different depths that you can really, I'll say, open up to and connect with. How much you allow yourself to feel it and be with it and experience it in its fullness. I've gotten to do some beautiful hikes here over the last week. I'm in Indonesia right now, and did this beautiful 3-day boat trip that was just amazing. So blessed that this opportunity is like, hey, let's go on this boat trip with some people, and it just happened. Awesome. Anyways, we're out and it stops at some different islands, and there's some beautiful beaches, and there's some famous hikes. So we did this beautiful hike up this little island mountain, and just these amazing views, right? And obviously it's fun to get pictures and all that stuff, but witness, and you're seeing this more and more, people come up there and it's just picture, talk, look, and then down. It's like I felt like they're so disconnected, really, and not really absorbing the depth, the beauty, the magic, the majesty of it. It's more like, oh, we're just on this sort of mission to-do list. I got to check it off my list. I went there, I took my pictures, done. It's a very mental and not really connected. When I got there and some people was like, oh my God, like this is glorious, and wow, what a blessing to have the opportunity to be here and to see this and to feel this, and it was just like in awe at it, and just sit there. And I can't say we didn't take pictures. It's fun to do that for sure, but to give ourselves the time, the space to just be and absorb it and soak it up, like you would making love to it, really, just let it penetrate into your being and your cells and your soul, and feed you and just bask in its glory. And I feel like so many people are missing that, even if they do take time in nature, or see people go out in nature and they're just like, okay, I'm out here, I'm getting my exercise, I'm gonna hike, I'm gonna move, which is great, definitely important to do that. And also, are you taking time to just, wow, absorb it, feel it, connect with it, let your heart open and receive and breathe with nature, breathe with life, open up to life, get out of just this little mental box, little picture frame, and just open up to its glory. And I invite you to do that, even if you can't get out into far nature, even if you're just a little local park or something, and just even fake it, even if you're not getting it right away, fake it, just pretend, oh my gosh, and just feel your body open up. Breathe in deeply, not just with your lungs, breathing with your lungs for sure. Feel your whole body breathing in. Imagine your cell, every cell in your body is like a little lung, breathing in. Your eyes, taking the smells, feel it, feel the, maybe feel the tree, the roughness, the texture of the tree, or the grass or the dirt. How much can you connect and feel with it? Just like, as I said, like a lover or a newborn baby, or whatever else is amazing to you. Can you bring that level of focus, connection, intention, awareness, depth of presence, depth of heart, to feel it and draw it in and embrace with it and be with it? And that starts to open up life force. It starts to open up energy. It opens up inspiration. It opens up joy. It opens up the magic. And so inviting you again and again and again and again to take that opportunity to meditate, either closed eyes or open-eyed meditation, taking in the reality of life, the beauty of it. Let that essence flow into you. Mother Earth, the planet, nature, want to be connected with you. It wants to support you, to play with you. I don't feel like we got invited here just to have a rough time. There's so much that we can really enjoy if we allow ourselves to in nature, and what's provided to us by nature. And so the more we allow ourselves that opportunity, so much can shift for us. Our joy, our aliveness, our vitality, our vibration, our expansion, as we allow ourselves to expand into the natural world, allow the natural rhythms, the natural cycles, all of it to flow into us. And the more we can accept the beauty in all of it, accept the beauty in the flower, in the tree, in the ants, in the birds, in the animals, in the sky, in the mountains, in the rivers, the creeks, the oceans, all of it has its own beauty, its own magic and wisdom that we can connect with and integrate into our lives. And so I invite you to work with that, to play with that. Let me rephrase that, play with that. Go play in nature. Go play like a child in nature, and allow nature to come back into you, allow the planet to come back into you, and that's going to open up and relieve so much stuff. Such a healing experience, healing opportunity that we all have. So I want to conclude this by the ultimate intention here is reintegration of nature. Our society, particularly in the Western world, and all over the world, really has taken us away from nature, isolated, created a barrier from it. And that, to me, is what's perpetuated a lot of our problems. And we look at nature, or a lot, particularly in the past here, nature is just sort of this resource that we can take and use for our own personal endeavors and profits. And that's led us to where we're at now. And my invitation here is for humanity to let go of that. It's okay. That's what happened. Let go of that and start to reconnect. How can we rebuild our relationship, our sacred relationship with Earth itself, our internal connection with Earth? And that connection empowers and activates and strengthens us. And we can find a new level of harmony, I believe, a new level of depth and integration with nature that we've never experienced before. So I invite you to see in your own life, in your own way, in your own unique gifts, in your own unique, say, work and life, how can you find ways to bring them together more deeply? So contemplate that, and stay tuned here for the next section of the show, where I'm going to guide you through a little more in-depth practice of how to access and connect with the earth itself. And if you want any more help on this, go to my website. You can go to aaronpyne, AARONPYNE.com. We'll take you there and check out. I've got different classes. I can also work with you individually because I do find people have different blocks and fears and anxieties and unable to really fully connect and open up with nature. All sorts of reasons for that. So I'd love to work with you and help you reorient that. I'm also going to be offering some retreats. We're going to go into nature. So make sure you sign up on my website, on my newsletter, so you get updates on that. If you're interested in doing some deep work in nature, I'd love to take people on nature and help you just open up, and we just really connect with the magic and the dimensions of nature. And I didn't even get into that, the many different dimensions, the spiritual beings of nature. I'll have to come back to that. The fays and the elves and the on and on. There's a whole realm, there's all worlds and worlds within nature that we didn't even go to this episode. So anyways, retreats for that, taking people out there to reconnect with that. All right, my friend, thank you so much. You are beautiful. Your natural form is beautiful. I hope to see you out there, and stay connected, and stay tuned here for the next part of the show where we're going to dive into an actual practice. All right, blessings. Thank you. All right, welcome back, my friends. Want to dive into earth connection visualization exercise. Now, my ideal for you is to do this outside in nature. I'm inside here just because it's a better environment to record this for you, but I would love if you could do this somehow outside, and you can follow along, or you can learn it now if you've got to be inside to watch it, and do it outside later on in nature yourself. We're gonna actually drop down into the earth, deep dive down into earth itself here, and playing with the concept here of holographic understanding, holographic wisdom. If you've studied some other spiritual things, perhaps you understand that everything is contained within everything in a different form or expression. One way to try to understand this is, say, astrology. I just got to go to a fun little astrology talk last night, so it's kind of active for me. If you look at astrology, and basically you've got all the planets and the stars, and they're all constantly moving, and they each have their own essence, their own energetic expression, as well as wherever they're at, what their movements are, their connection angles, any of that stuff, right? So this whole, we'll say, composite or tapestry of what's going on astrologically or in the solar system is imprinted upon a person at the moment of their birth. So a person is sort of a holographic representation of what is happening at that moment. Another idea here is, say, reflexology. It's in reflexology, on your hands or on the bottom of your feet, your entire body, all your organs, all the different parts of your body are mapped or represented on your hands or on your feet. So by pressing certain points on your hands and feet, you're actually stimulating energy in the rest of your body. So again, it's a whole, something, a larger system is represented or mapped out or reflected in something else that's maybe smaller, and vice versa. So it's a holographic is the best way I can describe it. As above, so below. It's the symbiotic relationship that something bigger is in something smaller. I can't remember the exact way it's phrased, but there's a line from Jesus that the whole of heaven is in a mustard seed. So it's like all of life is within something. The infinity of everything is within something. So in relation to this, in this episode about Mother Earth, I feel like the entirety of the earth is within each of us, and we are the entirety of the earth in our own unique form, our own unique expression. And so what this is all about here, this episode, is to reconnect with nature And when we're doing that, we're also simultaneously reconnecting with who all of what we are, because we are also all of nature. Nature is within us. And so this meditation is to begin to open that up. And I invite you, if you're a traveler, which I love to travel and see different areas, and it's something I've started to notice more and more over the years as my spiritual practice, my spiritual understanding, my connections open up more and more, is I feel like when I'm in different areas, different environments, I could explore different lands. It's like I'm there to enjoy that area, that culture, the landscape, whatever I need to learn and do and feel there. And it also feels like simultaneously it's opening up part of myself that's connected to that area, right? It's like receiving the codes, receiving the context of that area, but it's also within myself, because everything is reflective. Everything that you're experiencing outside is also reflective of what's inside. So as we go in this meditation here, you're inviting to open up a greater spectrum of the earth itself, even if you can't per se get the opportunity to travel everywhere. We're not all have that ability, the flexibility to travel everywhere. Maybe we can only do so much. So this is a way to access more for you wherever you're at, and bring in more of the earth into yourself and more of yourself into the earth simultaneously. So that's enough of the chit chat about it, the description, to give your mind a framework. Let's dive in. So I invite you to get comfortable. You can sit, you can lay down. I do invite you, if you're on the earth, to lay down on the earth, lay down in the grass, lay down in the dirt, connect in, and go ahead and take some deep breaths. And I'm right here doing it, even though I'm guiding you. I'm also simultaneously doing this with you. Breathing deeply through your nose and out your lungs, out your mouth. Feeling the lungs and the body breathing. Imagine your whole body's opening up to receive the breath. And out, breathing out deeply any stress, tightness, anxiety. Breathing in life force, joy, smiling if you can. And if you are out in nature, just connecting, listening to any sounds, birds or the wind. And as your body continues to breathe, it softens. Just with your intention, each breath, the body softens and opens and relaxes. And begin to feel your physical connection right now with the earth, whether you're sitting, whether your legs and butt are on the ground, or just your feet are on the ground, or if you're laying down the whole body. Just feel wherever there's point of contact, point of intersection between your body and the earth. And even if you're inside, just imagine feeling where your body's connecting with the chair, the floor, and then pulling the earth up, or like as if you were melting through the floor into the earth. And just holding that intention and that imagination, that feeling for a moment, making contact. And as you do this physically, visual and feeling, you begin to energetically start to connect. So you start to vibrate, you're starting to plug in. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, imagine now your nervous system extending out beyond your body, like little roots growing out down into the soil, down into the earth. And as those roots go deeper and deeper and deeper into the soil, you continue breathing. Imagine as your body's relaxing that you start to melt down your energy, your consciousness, You start to melt down into the earth, and you begin to move down into the earth as if you were maybe going, like you're in like a little elevator, right? A little bubble elevator, and you're actually starting to travel down, just visualizing, feeling that, holding that intention as best you can, that you're actually now moving down to the soil, like you're on this elevator going down, down, down. You're a clear glass elevator. You can see the dirt, the soil, maybe there's some tree roots, some stones. Maybe you pass through some water, some caverns. Just allow your imagination here to play. Now you're going deeper, 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 down, 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 faster and faster. There may be lava or rock or mineral layers, or who knows what else you might see. And we're going down to the center of the earth, down into the heart of the planet. Some say there's a crystal heart, iron core heart, a magnetic heart. It's a radiant energy. Let's see what you see. Just getting there to the center. What's it feel like to you? What's it look like? Just allowing it to reveal itself to you. And once here, imagine it's feeding you. You're pulsing, you're synchronizing, you're energizing with the earth. With another deep breath, you begin to grow. You begin to expand out in all directions. You begin to become the earth itself. See how much you can expand your awareness to feel as if though you're in the entire earth, and you're moving your awareness out, growing bigger and bigger and bigger, becoming the entire planet. You're becoming the mountains, the lakes, the oceans, becoming the rivers. You're becoming the mountains, the lakes, the rivers, the deserts, the forest, the jungles, the glaciers, the North Pole and the South Pole, the equator and the islands, even the sky. All of this is you. Can you feel and be all of it? Can you allow all of it to flow through you? Can you allow all this to feed you and nurture you? Allowing all of it to flow and support you. All of it to move and heal and balance. Restoring within you. Just being there as the wholeness of the earth. Now I want you to start to lock in, focus in on where your actual physical body is. And begin to sort of draw forth all this earth, all this energy into your body. Sort of like you're collecting a big web or a big net, and you're drawing all this into your body, into your heart. And if you feel inspired, you might even move your hands, your arms, like you're drawing it all in into your body, into any area in your body you know you need some support. And I know you're sort of a giant right now, you're the whole planet, and then imagine you're sort of shrinking back down so that you can fit in your body, but you're also drawing forth, like I said, a web, all this energy simultaneously back into your body as you start to reconfigure yourself back into your human body. So we're returning back. Allowing the wholeness of nature, the wholeness of the planet to start to come back in your body. You begin slowly returning, feeling whole in your body again. Imagining the whole planet there, all the landscapes, all the energy in your body moving through you, vitalizing and activating and opening you up. You are vibrating with the entire planet inside of you. There's so much power, so much life force, so much majesty and beauty. And you know that you can return to this meditation at any time to do it more, to draw in more. And for now, as you're ready, you can begin taking slow, gentle movements, and feeling it, stretching, allowing this life force to move through you. You might need to move your body, stretch, open up, making space for this greater flow to move through you. My planetary friend, allow yourself to be all that you are. I wish I could see you right now and see your face and how you're feeling, but I'm imagining it. That's a short way to begin to really start to harness and access the energy of the earth, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling great just doing that, so I am hoping you are as well. Thank you for not only joining me on the show, but joining me on this planet. Whether I know you or not, I'm sure we're connected in some way, and all of us are connected here on Earth. We're all part of the family of Earth. So I so appreciate you for, as I said, not only just joining me on the show, but also joining me on this planet. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope that supports your evolution and remembrance, my friend. So much love to you, so much Earth love to you. May you continue to connect and reestablish and rebalance the Earth itself within you and around you. Until next time. Again, check me out for more. You can find out more meditations, my healing work, my retreats, my one-on-one training, my TEDx talk where I talk about a message from the trees, and my visionary art products, which I haven't talked too much. This is one of them back here, so check those out as well. Again, you can go to Aaron, A-R-O-N, Pyne, Pyne.com. Thanks so much, and have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your day.